back with another one. I was looking at some videos, a series of videos by, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, by Dar Man. He does these short films, very, very good videos that he does. A lot of times there's principles, there's lessons, there's things you can take from his videos. Something that I noticed while watching them was a few of them I got a chance to look at. Now get this. This is 4. Teachers go on strike for more pay. CEO fat shames model in a beauty campaign. Male boss treats female employees unfair. Employee gets fired for how she dresses. Now, what was interesting about these is it was all individuals being treated poorly in their place of work, being treated unfairly in their choice of occupation. So a lot of these videos, oftentimes you can look at them and then draw parallels. You can notice principles in these videos which you can apply to multiple areas of life. So I thought it was really good how he lays out these videos. They're entertaining. There's a moral to the story, and then there's multiple lessons in which we can gain. So I was thinking about this. Now this is all I'm gonna tie this all together. One of the ones that you'll notice, it was the employee who got fired for how she was dressing. Now, if you had to take a guess, how would you say she was dressing? What type of outfits do you think she was wearing? You'd be surprised. The reason she was terminated is because she was dressing conservatively. Because she wore clothes that were her size and she was completely covered. This is the reason she was terminated from her job. Now, the point of this, so we're going to tie this with cryptocurrencies. This is all going to, don't worry, this is all going to make sense. Just bear with me. Now, so what took place, there was they had to do, what they have to do is go before. They're trying to win a big contract, and the boss wanted her to be revealing, to barely have any clothing on, and she chose not to. And of course, she suffered the consequences. And what's interesting, fellow YouTube listeners out there, is have you noticed maybe in different places of employment, maybe when you're out and about with your family, if you're shopping, things like that, or just different videos and whatever type of entertainment you're into, have you noticed that those who are intelligent are being treated unfairly? In a place of work, could you imagine if you're industrious, if you're hardworking, if you're a critical thinker, if you're intelligent, if you're any of these things, you're probably going to be treated unfairly. You're probably going to be unfairly targeted. Now, years ago, this would be unthinkable. If you were to tell somebody, oh, well, I was treated unfairly. Why? Oh, for being industrious. See, they'd look at you funny, like, what do you mean? I don't get it. So what about this video? See, this lady was fired for being completely clothed. Now, this is an office she's working in. This is not magazines or something like that. So she was terminated for having a full outfit on. See, people are being terminated for having sense. People are being slandered for working hard. People are being criticized, ridiculed, harassed, humiliated on jobs for being intelligent. So the point of this is the principle that I gained from this is, I tell you, cryptocurrencies might be the great equalizer. See, they might be the great Equalizer. Now, you don't have to necessarily have expertise in these things. You can learn as you go. So you can invest in small quantities or whatever your circumstances allow you to do. Now, what this does is, now in some of these instances, such as the what was one of Dar's videos, was the boss who was treating the employees unfair at work, and then the model who was being fat shamed. See, they might feel like they're in such a desperate situation that they have no choice but to tolerate these things. They might feel like they can't say no, like they can't refuse. See, have you ever felt like you're in that situation? See, if we are to put our money in small increments into cryptocurrencies, this can be the platform in which we can use to, in a sense, buy back our dignity. This can be the platform in which you can utilize to maintain your self-respect. See, teachers going on strike for pay. See, would they need to go on strike for pay had they been investing? So just imagine 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 3 months. Because if we don't do something, then we have to accept anything. We have to tolerate everything that comes our way if we don't set up ourselves with a platform in which we can buy back, in a sense, our dignity. We can maintain our self-respect. Now, if you're just listening to this information, you might can think of examples in which you've seen yourself, where a person was ridiculed, where they were humiliated, where they were forced to do something with something that goes against their integrity. But what did they do? They submitted. Why? Because they're thinking, well, I got to pay my gas bill. I got to pay my electric bill. So I have to pay for a place to live. I have to buy food. See, while we're dealing with this type of situation, this is the time to be educating yourselves. This is the time to be learning about different investments. Now, when we look at one thing that we can do, and by no means am I an expert in these areas, I myself I'm doing it, investing in it, but then learning as I go. Something that we can do is look at companies where their technology is related to something such as Bitcoin or blockchain. See, look for these type. Right now, Bitcoin is booming. Some might say, oh, well, you should have already been in it 4 or 5 years ago. See, that would have been good, but is it ever too late to start? See, is it ever too late to start? Now, imagine if you were 30 years old and you didn't know how to read. Would it be wise to just say, well, I haven't been reading for 30 years, so then I just won't read? No, learn today, start today, improve today. So another way then that prospective investors can get exposure to cryptocurrencies is by investing in public traded companies where their technology is related to trading coins, using blockchain, and using technology such as this, which Bitcoin is built on. See, this is what Bitcoin is built on. We also can use companies such as Square, PayPal. See, this will allow you the opportunity to get your feet wet. You can trade cryptocurrencies in these platforms. You can even maybe put increments into ones like Riot Blockchain, Galaxy Digital. See, they focus on cryptocurrencies for their underlying technology. So these are areas where we can look to. Now, again, what we're connecting this to, you're buying back your dignity. You're buying back your self-respect, as it were. So could you imagine if for the last 5 years, you've been putting money in, and let's just say you got $90,000, $100,000, or $100,000 in Bitcoin, and a person is a boss, a manager, an employer is talking to you in a derogatory manner. See, do you have to accept it now? See, if you're investing in cryptocurrencies, and of course this is not digital currency, this would be likened to digital assets. So now you're buying assets. See, now you're buying yourself an opportunity to maintain your self-respect. Because when we don't have extra coming in, then we have to just settle for whatever treatment that we're given. We have to just settle for whatever abuse or derogatory words and talk and slander and humiliation comes our way. So this is just something that I wanted to share. I thought was interesting when I was looking at these videos. Now, some of the ones that we covered, could you imagine the lady who was being fat shamed on the job? See, if she's investing, she can simply walk out. She can offer pushback without having to fear. See, without having to fear retaliation, without having to fear the harassment that's going to come back her way for standing up, for not giving in, for not submitting, for not accepting the humiliation that was coming her way. So these are some things that we just want to keep in mind. I thought it was really cool, the videos that he's doing. His name is Dar Man. Excellent videos. Take a look at them. This is just something that you can keep in mind. All right, thank you. I'm out.